sexuality and stuff. So
Really?
kind of brought things full circle. Yeah, yeah, it was crazy, kind of crazy. Um, like I said, it kind of brought things back full circle or whatever. So
Weird
it's
how that
pretty
works,
cool.
isn't it?
And it is weird how that works. He's super strong. He's the dude I was telling you about. This like spiritual warrior type dude. He's
Mm.
super strong. Um, it's funny that that's the Bible verse because
Isaiah 6:8. If he's super strong,
he's
he's going to be the
yeah
Isaiah, and he's going to be the one that says, "Here am I, send me."
yeah he was doing like he went to India
Whoa,
ministries in India for time
that'd be cool.
and we speak out for him and stuff. But the mother really got after his ass
Yeah.
in life. So you know how that goes. But anyway, I we stayed up all night talking, and then I did my Minecraft thing. I started a guild of Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
It's stupid. It sounds like kid stuff, but for me, it's we all play Minecraft together, and so I joined a guild,
Dude, it's the
and
new
that's just
like
dumb. It sounds dumb just talking
people
about
used
it,
to
but
have
it's my
hobbies and
thing.
shit. These are the new hobbies. It used to be bowling and softball and fucking whatever. Now everybody's broke and kind of introverted. So this is that now. Minecraft is the new bowling league.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I started because my Jerry is in a guild on Minecraft, and I joined his guild, and we were on there for a while. There's this dude on there that was like, because there's like some young kids on Minecraft,
No, I'm sure.
and he was like taking advantage of them,
Rude.
like not like weird sexual way or anything, but like getting them to give him their lover bucks and give their fucking Scandex items, just shit like that.
Being a douche.
Making all these promises about this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a douche. I didn't care for it. So I started a different guild,
Started a different
and
guild. We are the
and
Guild
in
of
3
Not
days
Douches.
we're already on the guild top. Yeah, we're actually called Yeet Fleet because there's fixing to
Yeet
be a new season,
Fleet.
and we're gonna do
Some
because
eating.
we did this like 6 years ago. Yeah, we did Shannonville 6 years ago, or 5 years, almost 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're doing Yeet Fleet. This is gonna be pirate nautical theme. People are gonna do like we'll do a community and giveaways and stuff, and uh, like my whole family is gonna get in on building up stuff. We'll recruit people and give them things. The new players that are on that don't have much, we're we're all rich on the server. We'll hook them up with like cool items and stuff and do giveaways. And it's just a positive environment sort of thing.
That's
The
good.
opposite of recruiting people to get their shit
Yeah. To skis all their shit.
and take advantage of them. Yeah, can't stand that, bro. It pisses me off.
Well, it's literally like the single biggest problem we're dealing with as a
Makes me
civilization
makes me
en masse.
yeah yeah fucking taking advantage of people who don't understand or know. It boils my blood. Like, and that there's not just in Minecraft, but like in life is
Yeah.
general. Sure, okay, education is free. And if you've paid for your education, then maybe you get an advantage, right? A trade advantage or a advantage of perspective or whatever. but you don't have to take people for everything.
Sure.
You don't have
Anything.
to skin them that hard. You could take an advantage maybe and just get what's fair. I just believe fairness.
Oh, what is fair?
Education is never free, and well, let's talk about what is fair, right? So
Yeah.
fair is fair.
Ooh,
Fair should
it's like common
everybody knows what
sense.
fair is.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Everybody doesn't though, Aaron,
should
and that's
be.
the problem. It's like common sense is not common. Common decency is not common. Unfortunately, or not common enough, perhaps. So, what is fair?
Fair is fair.
Fair is equitable trade of time or value.
Everybody, dude, everybody's been in this position to be new.
Yeah.
So everybody has the ability to put themselves. Well, I mean, not everybody, but 90% of the people have the ability to put themselves in another person's shoes. So if you
Unless
put
you're
yourself in another person's shoes,
sociopath or psychopath.
how would you feel like a fair treatment?
Sure. Don't do what you wouldn't do to your own grandmother, assuming you're not a sociopath. If you wouldn't want somebody doing it to your mom or grandma, don't do it to them. Do unto others as you wish others to do unto you. The golden rule.
Yeah. But what's funny about this Minecraft, and it's kind of funny. Like I said, I've been on this server for almost 6 years.
Yeah.
I I've I know a lot of the people that are like the head people that are on the server. I know people that were the head people on the server and have quit
Really?
because they were so top. So in 3 days, we're number 9 guild on the server.
Weird.
We have the number 1 PvPers have joined our server
Really?
for this purge, and the guy I was talking about, the other guy who has the biggest guild that was doing all this bullshit, has requested for us to agree to a treatise, because purge is coming up, and he knows, and even his guild to come to my guild,
So he's requested
and he's
parlay,
he's freaking out about it.
as well he should.
He's requested parlay, and we had parlay. We spoke, and I told him we'd talk about it. And I got a friend of mine that runs my military, quote unquote military. He wants to betray him, and I'm like, no, we're not gonna betray him. We're just not gonna give him the treaty. And come purge time, we're gonna murderate all the bastards,
Murderate all the bastards.
because the PvP the PvPers that are in my guild are like, they have in professional. There's literally professional Minecraft PvP, Kevin.
Oh, really?
Like, again, it sounds weird saying this, but
No, that's a thing.
little world,
It's been around a long time.
and these guys are like into that shit.
Yeah. The word fair has
But Dylan
several
plays
meanings.
Minecraft, and Ashley plays. Ooh, fair. Let's hear it.
The word fair has several meanings depending on the context. Here are some of the most common definitions. As an adjective, just and impartial, free from favoritism, self interest, bias, or deception, conforming with established standards or rules. This is often the most common and important meaning, implying equal treatment as an absence of prejudice. Reasonable or acceptable, not excessive or extreme. Pleasing to the eye, beautiful, kind of an adjacent connotation. The fair maiden, fair haired, fair weather.
Yeah,
According to the rules allowed in the game or
yeah,
competition, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's moral. See Germany, 1940. A gathering of people, or even the United States, 1910, or 1860, or 1780. A gathering of people in various purposes, often involving an entertainment. So this is like the Renaissance Fair, or the trade fair, or the county
yeah,
fair. To be fair,
yeah.
So just and impartial is probably the closest and reasonable. Free from favoritism, self-interest, or bias, or deception. Conforming with established standards or rules. So you think it's
Yeah,
really
or not extreme was the other one.
what's that? Not excessive or
Or it said something
extreme.
about not extreme.
Yeah, not excessive or
Or not
extreme,
excessive or
adequate
extreme.
or moderately good.
And that's the context I would use. Fair in the Minecraft world. And I think that's the not excessive is really how how I feel about the word when I'm like everybody should understand what it means to be fair.
Well, then you have to understand commonly
If you're gonna
excessive.
take advantage, yeah, but if somebody comes to you and they have a need for a vehicle, and it's obvious to you that the individual doesn't know anything about vehicles, and you have a vehicle that isn't worth shit, and if it's not, it's fair for you to sell your vehicle. It's not fair for you to sell your vehicle for an exuberant price just because it's possible.
Sure. So if
Or
vehicle is worth 1,000, don't sell it for 10,000 because the person, the other party's desperate and
you're yeah,
desperate
exactly,
and would it be
exactly.
naive, incompetent, both?
Well, inexperienced, naive, incompetent, uneducated, desperate, as in confined and quartered to the situation out of disparate circumstances. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When you got somebody by the shorts, either it's an information or a situation, you shouldn't take advantage of it to excess. You
So
should take advantage of it. I mean, if you have some sure, I want to take advantage of it, but if you feel the need to gain out of somebody else's circumstance or understanding or lack of understanding, then teach them a lesson. Sure, education's never free. That's something my dad always said. Education's never free. You
but
can earn something for teaching, but don't put them in a situation that's gonna skin them forever, or put them in a situation that's going to chastise them to a point where, like in the case of this video game, where they're never gonna want to play again.
yeah.
It just ruins it.
So like what you're describing is actually the encounter with malevolence, which is one of the greatest, most common tales ever told amongst humanity, right? You got the hero's journey, you got the encounter with malevolence, either male or female, which can be the dragon or the witch, right? The devil or the devouring mother, the evil queen. But the encounter with malevolence, nevertheless, the encounter with malevolence, if subjected to, if the naive person is subjected to the encounter of malevolence, and the malevolence is so extensive that it drastically or desperately harms the sophomoric individual, the probability of perpetual ruin or lifetime ruin of that individual is actually quite high. If they survive it, more often than not, they become jaded and they never recover from that, and thereby never trust anyone. Even though they've maybe overcome the material loss, they're never the same. That the malevolence has taken a piece of them.
Yeah, I believe that, and that makes sense
Well, it's
for sure.
one of the oldest archetypes of tales, right? The Campbell's the same guy that produced the hero's journey. It's one of the same archetypes of tales. It's not hard to see or find. I mean, most of us have encountered malevolence in our lives. We were young and naive, or even older and naive. Especially if we're skewed good. I wouldn't say any human is good. We all have our own bullshit. But if you're skewed good, often, especially if you're naive, the tendency is to believe that other people will think, act, and behave as you do. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes that's not. You'll encounter a psychopath or a sociopath,
Yeah.
and they will take everything. They will enslave you. They will berate and abuse you. The narcissist, they can actually cause brain damage with relationship. Physiological brain damage from the psychological abuse and gaslighting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't it though? I had to read a couple of studies on that when I heard it. I was like, "That surely to God, that can't be right." No, it's true. Physiological brain damage commensurate with traumatic brain injury, actual physiological damage to the brain. Wow. PTSD is also capable of the same. And actually, living at the hands of a
I don't.
narcissist for several years is comparable to PTSD, believe it or not.
It's scary because I consider myself. Everybody tells me I'm. Well, not I wouldn't say everybody. My ex-wife tells me I'm narcissist. Of course, I feel that way, but
Narcissist, especially
that's
now,
crazy.
gets thrown around a lot. It's it's used for. It's like racist or misogynist. It's anyone that doesn't do what you want them to or behave the way you want them to behave gets labeled that way, which is like racist or misogynist, kind of dangerous because words mean things. And should one
That's true.
encounter an actual racist or an actual misogynist or an actual narcissist, thinking that merely an asshole or someone that doesn't agree with you meets those criteria, uh, talk about naively engaging with malevolence. Huh. You think your local jerk is a misogynist, and then you encounter an actual misogynist or a racist, and you
A real.
encounter an actual racist.
No, that is true. 100%.
You're gonna have a bad time. That's
That
actually
is
a
100% true.
pretty good example of the encounter with malevolence there, by taking the breadth and depth, the significance out of the word through its overuse, its casual philandering. I don't know why they use anyways. Through its casual philandering, taking the edge off, taking away its significance. When you actually encounter it, boy, you're going to be disappointed. It's like saying a match is hot, and then
That's
encountering a house fire.
kind of like my kids saying I'm mean, or you talk to somebody
Yes.
that said that they were. I was abused growing up, and for me, I'm like, well, tell me about your experience. Oh, did you get a spanking one time? That's cute.
Mommy used a wooden spoon once. Struck me
Yeah,
3 times.
yeah, that's cute. You ain't never been intentionally bounced out of the bed of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
are gone after with a wrench, or 2x4, or a shovel.
Extension cords, boards, crowbars,
Hangers.
pipes, hoses.
Hangers are the worst.
Hangers hurt. Extension cords are pretty bad, buddy.
Yeah.
12
Well,
gauge
check
extension cords.
the fin belts.
Pretty fucking, yeah. Belts are pretty savage. They're about the same as an extension cord.
Those things will cut you.
Razor strap.
Yeah, it's not the same as a belt.
It is not, in fact, the same as belts. More
A
like
strap.
a real paddle. Real paddles.
Mm-hmm.
And then grandma demanding the switch of correct diameter and pliability.
I think that's within fair means.
That's the rule of thumb, remember?
The psychological impact of that.
Yeah, the psychological impact of that is significant. Go get me a switch.
It's way worse.
My grandmother preferred switches from the pussy willow tree. The small tree from northern regions.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
I know a willow.
Yeah. So pussy willow is similar to a willow in as much as its pliability, but it's a bit more rigid, like a bush. But it is extremely pliable. Extremely pliable.
Ooh, those things wrap.
Yeah,
I know, like the willow. The willow wraps, and when it comes off, It doesn't like to slide off. It likes to pull off. Oof.
Sure does. Sure does.
Well, so enough of that conversation. I've run enough memories. I've been getting into Randall Carlson here lately.
Randall Carlson.
Do you know who that is?
I do indeed. Randall Carlson is actually his work on the oh my gosh, I've gone brain dead. The blah blah blah, the end of the last ice age, the Sulala period.
The Younger Dryas
Younger
period.
Dryas. There you go. Yes, and the floodplains. I concurred with him before I was aware of his existence, and flying over, I've actually and having visited the Grand Canyon, I thought exactly the same thing. Now I'd like to take the Randall Carlson issue. When we go back to Randall Carlson, but while we're talking about this, looking at landscapes at scale and flying over the western United States, they look like they've been mined. And I mean like on a nearly unfathomable scale. Imagine mining machines 7-8 miles wide, digging down half a mile, just churning it over. And then, as Randall Carlson posits, and I believe absolutely that he's correct, there was an airburst of one or multiple, and the comet Encke, extremely probable. Not only is the comet Encke extremely probable, going through the meteor field that we do every September, October, November. Having that drop several thousand comets into an airburst onto the northern shield, onto the 3 miles of ice, and that melting in the matter of days, weeks, months, causing the flood that's referred to all over the planet, creating the geology that Mr. Carlson so eloquently expounds upon. I think he's right. I think he's absolutely right. I think concurrently most of our history is underwater because of it.
Well, I think in the last few years they've actually found evidence that he's right.
There's a lot of evidence he's right.
So I watched this. There's even been papers recently. I watched a Joe Rogan episode from like 8 years ago,
The one with
and it's
him
Randall
and
Carlson, this other guy,
yeah,
an author, then the guy that runs Skeptic magazine, and they brought in a couple people over the Skype or whatever. And the guy that they brought in over Skype was a geology professor, and is the author of an article that was basically, or not even an article, it's he wrote to his students this thing that was like basically almost libelous against the other author. Hickok was the author, or Hancock, or something
Graham
like that.
Hickok.
Um,
That was actually a great
yeah.
series of episodes that Rogan did.
Well, I've had that solidified the respect that I have for Randall Carlson, that whole episode, because for the most part it was this Hickok guy kind of haughtily arguing back and forth with the other guys,
Yeah.
and which, I mean, it wasn't like a bad argument. He deserved to make the arguments that he made, but Carlson didn't say a whole lot.
No.
I mean, he spoke every once in a while. For the most part, he just sat back. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, "Jamie, go to slide 163," and the whole narrative changed.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit. Because whenever he speaks, and I agree with you, I think he's right. But one of the reasons that he's right is because this dude, not only is he highly intelligent, but he's done his fucking homework.
He's extremely
He
well
knows what he's
studied.
talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
know,
when that, uh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, that he got into it with that professor, and that professor was all acting all smug and smirk and get into it with the author, and then Randall Carlson stepped in and started talking about the real business of it, and the professor, was like, oh, blah blah blah, and it's a perfect example because now Randall Carlson is in the majority opinion
Yeah.
that yes, at some point during the Younger Dryads, there was this strike, and they found these platinum group metals that are at that layer all over,
The
like in
iridium,
disparate parts of the world.
the iridium nodules that are at the KT boundary around the
Yeah.
globe,
So
and glasses, by the
it's
way.
just funny how that professor, 8 years later, has come to look more like a fool than he thought he was looking like when he was making them smug faces. But I've been watching a lot of other Randall Carlson stuff too, and I really, really like Randall Carlson. Has been put into the same bucket as Eric Weinstein for me because I really, really, really like me some Randall Carlson.
He's got
That dude knows his shit. He's
he does.
smart.
He's got a YouTube channel, Squaring the Circle, and then he's got another YouTube channel that he just started, which may actually be a podcast with another guy. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But him and another guy are actually going down exactly this rabbit hole ad nauseum and doing essentially so far has been like a 300 level course on it. If you're not fairly well studied in the Younger Dryas going into this, you're not going to be able to keep up. If you don't understand geology and history and mythology and a lot of different topics,
Oh,
you're not going to keep up.
he's way, way over my head on things. Like, which, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. Like, I've learned new terminology watching that Rogan podcast.
Sure.
Um, and he has this. One of the main topics to that was the Göbekli Tepe
Yeah.
complex, and at the time there had only been a very small amount of Göbekli Tepe that had been. But the mainstream opinion is still that it was hunter-gatherers that built that place,
Which
and
doesn't make sense at
I
all if
can't
you look at the
can't
entire
agree with
body
that.
of evidence, especially with Karambé
I can't agree with
Tepe
that at all.
and what's now appearing to be 5 other towers that have been discovered 37 miles away, all from the same period or older, 10 to 12,000 BC,
Yeah.
which makes them maybe 12 to 14,000 years old. The narrative is falling apart.
Well, I absolutely, absolutely it's falling apart. Okay, so I know I don't mean to run around and the rabbit bush just with all these weird topics, but there's a point to this. I took that topic to different artificial intelligences. I took it to Google AI, I took it to Grok, and I took it to Claude, which are the ones that I primarily use.
Yeah.
And I started with the question: was Göbekli Tepe a civilization? Because that's what Randall Carlson suggests, and these other guys that he's in and among. They suggest that this is evidence of a civilization that's a pre-flood civilization that's much more advanced than modern archaeology gives credit.
Right.
And then all the AI was like, no, it's not it, because they started it, because it has to list all the different reasons why. And it lists all these mainstream academic points about hunter-gatherer and whatnot.
But it's
So
basing
then I
its
started
statements
asking
off of the body of
questions.
knowledge.
Right, that's my point. I started asking the same questions and making critical analysis that I borrow from Randall Carlson and Hickok, as well as those other guy. What is his name? He's a little further out there, but his Bright Insight or something. It's a YouTube channel that really gets into that. He's a little more French, but anyway. Um, Once I made those questions, artificial intelligence immediately was like, "No, you're absolutely right. It makes no sense." Maybe in the very strictest sense of the term civilization, but it certainly can't be attributed to standardized hunter-gatherer people.
Right. And what's really weird about all the
And it,
tepes, the older shit is higher quality than the newer shit.
yeah,
The
yeah,
relief
like the
carvings,
older generations do good.
yes, which means that they were losing the skill, not acquiring the skill, which is
Yeah,
super fucking weird. How would you possibly explain that? Other than this is the backside of recovering from some kind of civilizational collapse. How else could they be losing the skill instead of acquiring the skill? Although perhaps it is generational or generation to generation loss, that is something that does occur. Right now, we're losing
I mean that's
skills.
we're definitely losing them to AI. I'm right up there with
Well,
them.
even our trade
But
skills, there's a lot less actual good stone carvers now than there was 100 years ago. Flat ass. There's far fewer guys that can do riveting now than there was 50 years ago. Flat ass. There's fewer guys that can finish concrete at a high level than there was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Just what it is. We're losing skills.
yeah, but we're losing skills to technology, not because, well, I guess yes, because the skills
We're losing the
are in
skills to
decline,
greed.
but for a
So
different reason.
is nobody's willing to pay for it. Nobody's willing to pay for a plasterer to spend 6 days to do a room that a drywaller can do in a day. They won't pay for it. Nobody's willing to pay for a stone carver to do relief carvings on stone that they can do cast stone or milled stone in one day. They won't. They're not. They just won't do it. Spending 600 years to build a cathedral. I mean, there's one.
Wrong. You're not wrong.
It's one of the biggest things that
But
I hate about construction.
I think
When I started, we were building 100-year and 30-year buildings.
well look at that.
Now we're building 15-year buildings and 5-year houses, 10-year houses.
No, that's 100% right as well. I was just about to say, look at house construction. I have worked on house construction in the late 90s, and I've into the early 2000s some, and then again at like 2010, and then again, just recently, and been around the new home construction, residential construction. I haven't really done the commercial construction recently, and I've got a limited experience around it, but the quality is crazily declined.
Yeah.
100% is declined. The way they do things is declined. The even the inspectors
Yeah.
give a shit less than they used to.
Well, the inspectors are going through a week's worth of classroom training, and they think that they know what the fuck they're looking at. It's
Yeah, that's not the case.
it's not the case. The cult of certification and the fallacy that classroom training is analogous to understanding, especially in the trades, is just infuriating to me. And I'm sure there's
Yeah.
every profession or every trade or every intellectual pursuit. They get somebody that's never gotten outside the classroom, never spent any time really engaged with it. It'd be like somebody having studied how to play a saxophone for 20 years, having never touched the saxophone, trying to tell somebody that has played a saxophone for 20 years how they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Or guitar. I can really relate with the guitar.
Yeah. Well, actually, your fingers are supposed to have a 13-degree arch. Play anything. Well, I can't actually play it, but I am certified.
Yeah. Play anything. That's funny. Play Mary Had a Little Lamb, motherfucker.
Yeah. House of the Rising Sun. Anything.
But I think they're right. This whole the 8 years that it has, and which is what's great about podcasts like Joe Rogan, that are on the internet and exist forever, as far as forever goes. 8 years later,
Yeah.
they're saying some different things about this Göbekli Tepe. And one of the things that didn't get made, which is a point that I recognize that I haven't heard them make yet, is because they say that it was made over generations and generations. They argue that it wasn't a civilization. One of the main primary arguments is that they were hunter gatherers. They didn't have any government or organization, local or
No way that they can
permanent.
accomplish 1,000 years of series of municipal scale works after municipal scale works and not have any organization. That's a ridiculous
Well,
assertion.
it would be a ridiculous assertion simply in the face that they lived there or that they lived there near there the whole time. But they're supposed to be hunter gatherers, right?
Yeah. See,
Which means they were only there seasonally.
but the site
So at
shows
1,000
otherwise.
years,
And the several sites that show otherwise that are of the same style, which means not only was it a civilization, it was an extended civilization over many miles. There's at least
yeah.
27 locations at this point, all of which showing occupation over 1,000 years per location and over 2,000 years across all of them. The assertion
The
is
one
ridiculous that they're making.
that you mentioned that was like the one that's nearby earlier, Bright Insights went and did a thing about it there. They're digging it out, starting to dig it out.
Well, they've shut down
I can't remember the
Gobekli
name
for
of it.
another 150 years.
Yeah, they did. They built a big fucking thing on top of it
Yeah.
and destroyed a bunch of shit doing it. But anyway, the one that's nearby has a bunch of these square rooms in it that are not decorated. They're just stone rooms. And my question is, what is the purpose of those rooms? If this is a hunter gatherer situation, they didn't live there permanently, and they didn't have they didn't have um, agriculture or store their excess. Then what were the rooms for?
Yeah. Are you talking about the one? Like it's Kieran Tepe. It's got like the
Can't remember
serpent
what it's
head
called.
room.
Um, the one that I'm talking about that like kids play in it. It's not even really much of an excavation site, but it's like 7 miles away from Göbekli Tepe. It's like right next to the actual modern city, but it's got the same T pillars and
Oh,
but it doesn't have all the fancy relief and stuff on it.
there's
But it
Kieran
it has
Tepe, which is the
square
older one.
rooms. I'd have to go back and
Lenny
rewatch it to tell you which one it is.
Karan
The name of
Tepe
it.
is not the oldest. No, there's another one. Google, show me things.
But the point of this, these peoples at this time were not into wasting their time and energy.
No.
So what are the square rooms for?
Yeah.
If not some sort of store or some sort of residence. This doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
And why do people give a fuck? Okay, why is modern? I mean, I understand this a point because it's just the nature of academia. But why is it such a big deal to put a civilization on the map at 13,000 years ago before the Younger Dryas?
Because it breaks
Doesn't
the
even
whole
make the Younger
narrative.
Dryas. I mean, it breaks a narrative.
Which I would think, I'm struggling to understand as well. So like, there's a whole series of these apparently. There's Gobekli Tepe. There's the Navali Kori, Hamzan Tepe, Karan Tepe, Harbutsavan Tepesi, Tepasi, Sefer Tepe, Telsey Tepe, and other stone stela with characteristic T-shaped documented in contemporary sites further afield, including Kayonu, Cayonu, Quremez Dere, Kermez Dere, and Girsir Hoyuk. They essentially span. Looking at the map here, it essentially spans the entire Fertile Crescent.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not a civilization. It's not a civilization. No, these hunter gatherers,
These hunter
Kevin, hunter
gatherers
gatherers.
built these cities plus or minus 9 to 10,000, 12,000 BC across the entire Fertile Crescent that they occupied for over 1,000 years. Hunter gatherers. All these things can't
Hunter
be
gatherers,
concurrent.
but
This
you
doesn't make
gotta.
sense.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
It is a bunch
To
of
be honest,
bullshit.
it don't make no sense. And you gotta really think that that people in general are idiots if you think that in order to really push that narrative and not give some. You got to give some at this point with the amount of structure that we found there. I'm not a fucking archaeologist, okay?
Yeah.
But any dummy can look at the scale and scope of these constructions and then look at the definition of hunter gatherer and say,
No.
I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Tim.
Pillar 43. I think it's Pillar 43. On. Yes. Pillar. Yes. The Vulture Stone has a celestial alignment on it. What is it? Pillar 43. Go back. 43. Celestial alignment date. Now this is the one that gets me. So like this, the Pillar 43 has a celestial alignment of 10,950 BC. Now looking at the carbon dating, etc., from that area, that means that they're describing an alignment 1,000 years prior to construction. But that would make it align exactly with the Younger Dryas impact.
Well, the Younger Dryas, yeah, it was
950.
10,800 BC.
Yeah, well, plus or minus. And that alignment is plus or minus 100
Plus or
years
minus.
because that's a celestial alignment.
Right. Yeah, that would make. So you're talking like Methuselah.
Yes, Methuselah. That's exactly right. Old as Methuselah. The I think I totally agree with everything on the how they've interpreted things on the pillar on the stela. Do they call it a stela, or did I just make that up? Not really a stela, is it? It kind of is. But anyways,
I've heard it called T-post.
the T post. The top of the T post, there's the handbags, like you see with the Anunnaki. You see the Anunnaki carrying the handbags and the pine cone, and it's not just the Anunnaki. Several civilizations have images of whatever the hell those people are carrying the handbags with the watch and the pine cone, all about the same time.
Right. And it's not just there either.
No, no, they're all over the world.
And they all represent deity. Can't
Yes,
remember. They all have the deity has a name, but the guy that teaches them how to
do stuff.
sew shit
Yeah.
and do stuff.
Yep. Yup. Handbag, watch,
I mean,
pine cone. It's in South America. It's in the Middle East. It's in Egypt. It's in Africa. What the fuck is this? Apparently, I'm not
what
the.
is
I don't know.
that's supposed to be Enki? I think that's supposed to be Enki. Damien believes. Find it because it's seen it. I don't know. I'm on Minecraft. I'm doing these rooms, so I don't have my Google readily handy.
I'm
But I
googling.
believe that those reliefs discovered in Iraq.
Yes.
And I believe they're also discovered in Egypt. But in Egypt, it represents
Horus. And
fuck,
he's
I
got
can't
an
think
eagle
who
head.
it is now. Horus.
Yep. And he's got an eagle head.
Yes.
And it's also
Uh,
in India. It's a derivation on Vishnu.
correct.
And it's also in Latin America.
Yes.
It's post Quetzalcoatl. It's in the Olmec. The dude is sitting there with the goddamn purse again. He doesn't have a pine cone, but he's got the same
Yeah.
fucking purse. And it's at the top of this
And
T
why?
post. The Vulture T post. Post 43. What's with the fucking purse?
Well, if you're packing an overnight bag and going around the world, you gotta carry it somehow.
The magic bag with your watch and your pine cone.
It wasn't a magic. It represents, if I'm to be honest with you, a pine cone represents a seed,
I think it's more than that. I think
and
it's
he's got his
knowledge.
bag that he's pulling his seed from. Well, it could be knowledge,
Yeah, I
but
think
at the very least, well, you don't have to stretch very far to say he's got a bag of seeds that he's showing you how to till the earth and plant seeds,
so. The bag is
teaching the people the nature
wisdom
of
or
seeds.
knowledge or the beginnings of life. The pine cone
Put,
is literally the seeds of life.
put yourself in the mind, people. I think it's just seeds. I think it's very. Do you think the deer understands, or do you think a monkey understands that the things that they're eating out of a fruit has these things that they spit out are meant to be new plants? I think they see new plants, and I think that they see fruit, and I think they see fruit on the tree, but they don't make that connection of the circle of life.
Yeah.
And I think that knowledge, at the very least, when he says, look, I'm going to plant this seed here, I'm going to cover it up, and we're going to wait 3 days. And right where I planted that seed, there's that new plant. You see? So this is a seed, and this just that
Or
is
the
what
beginning of
all was the
agriculture.
spur,
Yeah.
the connection, right? Because you're not going to realize right away that that's the case, or that even if you do realize that that's the case, you're not going to realize that you can do this the and survive or take off with. So I mean, if the dude had a bag full of seeds, and at the very least, a pine cone is what a harbinger of seeds. I'm not saying that's exactly what it was, but I'm saying that could be the most minimal
It could be a
leap to
pine cone.
reach.
It could be a some kind of forerunner to corn as we understand it now, because corn is a bastardization of essentially a head of grain, right? We've bred and bred and bred and bred and
Yes,
bred, so that may not actually be a pine cone. That may be a corn cob progenitor. But either way, it's a
correct.
some kind of organic wad of seed, some kind of seed cone, seed stock, the germ of life.
I believe so. I
That
mean,
makes sense.
like I said, I'm just making shit up. I don't have any proof, but
In India and in Latin America, the purse does not have this the pine cone with it. They're not portrayed together. It's just
well,
the
isn't
purse.
that a different temperate climate?
Yeah, India.
So it would a different kind of seed would be brought.
Yeah. So in India and Latin America, they'd have both been much warmer, wetter climates than that would be Iran at that point.
Right. So what kind of seeds would be planted in Iran and Egypt?
The native shit. So it'd be like dates and olives and figs and
Are any of those pine cone like?
cotton. Figs maybe. Nope. Seed pods from the Fertile Crescent. And we still have to consider: is it literal or is it figurative?
Well, I mean,
Lotus seeds.
those people didn't do a lot of figurative. They have a tendency to be as literal as they possibly could.
Not completely now.
Well, maybe not completely, but I think it's best, like what Randall Carlson says, that if we take them as literally as possible and they'll work our way into the abstract,
Sure.
we're more apt to come across, right?
Something that's more real than.
Because their abstract might have been like the gods and stuff, but they're describing them in the purpose of describing something that they've witnessed or experienced that they don't understand. And
Sure.
so if they don't understand it, they bring it into the.
The metaphysical.
But if you can't say it's abstract and then also say, but it also appears across the different continents. There's something very literal about that if
One
it's
would think.
agreed upon across continents. Yeah.
Across civilizations that had no contact. Wink, wink.
But it appears in South America. If it appears across South America and Latin America, and if it appears in India, and it appears in Iraq, and it appears in Egypt, and all these different places, you can't say, "Oh, these are just abstract deities," because They all have the same fucking thing.
But the only place we don't see it is Australia. Those guys were doing the Dreamtime though. They were in a different thing. Okay, so
I think at
actually,
that time Australia was ice.
the calla lily seed looks similar.
What about a fucking pineapple?
So they were swingers. I don't think pineapples
Isn't a
were.
pineapple?
I don't think they grow in Iran.
Not modern day Iran or Iraq. um, what would the climate hold up for 13,000 years ago? Though? It's not the same climate. I don't know.
Well, okay, so to your point though, right? So have pine trees ever grown?
There you
I
go.
know cedars have.
But cedars don't have pine cones like that.
They do not.
Cedars are more of a juniper.
Yeah.
Very.
Yes, pine trees have grown and continue to grow in both Iraq and Iran. The Brutia pine, Pinus brutia, native to eastern Mediterranean.
Okay. Well, the pine tree is used for pitch,
Indeed, it is.
which would be part of construction.
Waterproofing, construction,
So
glue.
even if it's water construction, boat making.
Maybe they smoked that shit.
So if it wasn't food, it could be construction information.
You know?
I mean, disgusting, but okay. Pitch is nasty.
Pitch is nasty, sticky shit.
Yeah, it smells okay to a point until you get it to where it starts to become pitch.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a rabbit hole that we're not going to get to the bottom of anytime today. But I do concur
No.
that our current paradigm is most likely bullshit. The tepes and the rest of those civilizational cues across the Fertile Crescent, well beyond the historical timeline boundary of civilizations, really becoming a bigger and bigger problem for contemporary conventional archaeology and human history.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when they finally get to the under the ice in Antarctica? Huh?
Um,
Huh?
I think under the ice in Antarctica will be less problematic unless there was the pole flip and all that shit went down as they say it did. And when you get there, Antarctica used to be where Texas is, a moderate latitude, 30 degrees or so. Ice melts and holy shit, fuck. Those are pyramids. Now what? I mean, we're not dealing with the pyramids that we have now, the ones in
Now what?
Asia and the ones in North America, South America. We're not dealing with the pyramids we have now, let alone new ones under 3 miles of ice. It, my my thing is like, what happens when we figure out how to do? If the satellite technology that's purported to see the shit under the pyramids is real, then if we start looking in coastal waters from 500 feet in depth up, the probability of seeing massive civilizations, I think, is 100%. And I think it's going to be mind bending exactly what's under the sediment down there at
We
200,
are.
300
Yeah.
feet.
Like what is it? The Bimini Road? Is that what it's called, or something like that?
The Bimini Road, which I think is a shipyard. If you look at it,
This the water.
yeah, The way it's built, it looks like a massive shipyard. But you're talking about building some big fucking boats.
We simply don't know.
We don't.
But we can come all the way back to the top. And back to the original point, it's just that Randall Carlson is a smart. I like
He is a smart dude.
Randall Carlson, Eric Weinstein is on my list.
Weinstein gets awfully pretentious at times.
He should.
He's a smart fucker, don't
He
get
has
me
every
wrong.
right to be pretentious. Yeah, but he's just playing the damn academic game back at him. And if you really want to get down to it, he has the only theory out there right now that really could stand to explain some things that the academic mainstream standard physics model cannot,
I think it's the beginning. It's
without making some
the bridge out of the hole we've created for ourselves with string theory.
He's really started taking on academia.
Yeah.
He's really come under fire from some heavy hitters like Sean Carroll, the
Yeah.
other dude's name,
Carol's shitting bricks.
Brian Keating.
But Carol spent the last 40 years trumpeting the validity and significance of string theory to no avail whatsoever. It's produced literally nothing.
Sean Carroll's kind of a useful idiot. He literally stands on the shoulders of giants on stilts.
But he's good at raising funds for the university, and he's good at drawing attention to the, let's call it discipline, which allows his departments and others' departments to raise capital. Which I think really at the end of the day is really what it's about. It's not necessarily about advancing science. It's about lockstep and raising money.
That's that, and that's what Eric Weinstein's against. But yeah, that's definitely
He's
sad.
trying to do science. There's a few others that are trying to do science. Trying to advance the field. I was actually having this conversation with my sons yesterday. We're talking about the slowdown in scientific advancement since we decided to stop killing people en masse to find shit out anymore. I know correlation is not causality, but there is a pretty precipitous drop off right about the time we decided killing people for science is a bad plan.
Well, who else do you know that, aside from those, some people I can give Sam to look?
Honestly, if you follow Wiseman, you're going to find all of them. He talks about them pretty much at length. There's one guy that he's afraid of, he's terrified of. He talks about the intellect that has managed to not make contact with the universe. When he speaks, everybody poops a little.
You know who it is?
Not off the top of my head. So generally, I'll watch those interviews and I write shit down, right? The interesting shit. Then I go do I'll go do a dive. His brother is actually not bad either. I mean, not the same disciplines, but his brother's not bad either. And he's got a podcast called Dark Horse, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I got a shit ton left to absorb from Randall Carlson,
Yeah.
and I don't understand all of Eric Weinstein's stuff yet to really start just absorbing en masse. I'm still working on that. And then like I said, I have some YouTubers that I follow that I think probably aren't correct, but they're on the right track, where they don't understand it in a way that I do, but the information that they present is still good. The evidence that they present is still good, even if their interpretation of the evidence is not, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. I found a thing with his face. I'm gonna see if I can get to his name. I spent like 3 days
That's a step.
going down this rabbit hole of everything I could find on this guy.
Who's that person?
Edward Witten.
In physics circles,
Edward
you're not allowed to bring this guy up?
No, we talk about him. Everybody talks about him. But
Edward Witten. He's like the Voldemort of physics. Googling.
Edward Witten.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this guy's face.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian Greene saying it. Edward Witten's intellect is terrible.
Yes. I want to talk with him.
Known for M theory.
Yeah. Quantum gravity. He's won the Fields Medal. Though I don't agree with quantum gravity. Well, kind of.
Well, if you were given the ability to speak or have dinner with, just have a conversation, have one episode per se, like one of our 2 to 3 hour episodes of any living. We're not going to go full abstract, living or dead, but just any living intellect or individual today. Who would it be?
Honestly, probably Witten. There's a bunch of people that I would like to talk to.
Witten?
Yeah.
I think Weinstein is my top pick right now. Or Carlson. These two, I'm fanboying over them, but I am fanboying. But that's definitely the case.
Randy Carlson is very interesting. I think.
He looks like my biological dad.
Yeah. What's the other guy? The history. He gets a little bit wilder. He's a journalist that everybody pegs as an archaeologist. Often travels in the same circles as Carlson.
Eric von Daniken.
No. But yeah, sure. Yes, I know. Yeah, he's God. What was that? What was his book? It's like back in the 70s.
The journalist.
Something of the Gods. Chariots of the Gods, I think it was.
Chariot of the God.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah. And out of all the people that are in that conspiracy theory lane, he's been the most reasonable. Because he's the
Von
one that's actually
Daniken?
there looking at that shit.
Von Daniken?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he's on site. Yeah. Absolutely is. He's on site.
Von Daniken has made up some shit.
All over Egypt.
Are you? I don't think you're talking about the same guy, dude. I think you're conflating humans.
Maybe. But Eric Von Daniken,
Yeah, yeah, he definitely
the
did
Chariot
Chariot
of
of
the
the Gods.
Gods, Eyes of the Sphinx.
Uh, the one I'm thinking, he did
Somebody's
a
really
hit.
brutally taking him on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, Von Daniken says some bullshit, but this other guy, the one that gets paired with Carlson quite often.
Well, Hickok is the dude that I was talking about earlier.
Graham Hickok. Yes. Hancock. Graham Hancock. That guy. Yes, Hancock has actually
yeah,
been
yeah,
to the places. And he went to a place in Indonesia that I think may actually be older than, I agree with him. He posits it, and I agree. I think it may actually be older than the Tepes. Hancock, I think, is way more believable than Von Daniken by orders of magnitude. And I agree that Carlson is actually even more believable than Hancock as well. It's a different standard deviation between those two. Entire standard deviation of believability,
But
at least.
don't get wrong though, Von Daniken absolutely spent time in Egypt.
He did. He did.
Got in trouble. Got in trouble in Egypt.
He did.
And there's another guy that's not Eric Von Daniken. There's another guy who's like actually an Egyptologist. He's like on all the ancient alien stuff.
Oh, Hawass.
Short guy.
Oh,
Yeah. I got.
Zari Hawass is like the
I think that
official.
might be.
He's batshit crazy, dude. I think he's probably the least. He is the
Yeah, but
official.
he's there.
Yeah,
He's there.
Zahari Hawass. He's the official voice of Egypt on Egyptology. But damn it, does he say some crazy shit?
Well, there's some crazy shit that's there. Okay. So here's the thing. All right.
Uh,
When you say he says some crazy shit, let's just hang on for a second. When you say X person says some crazy shit, crazy is a descriptor that is based upon a comparison. And that comparison is based upon what? Mainstream.
well, so he is the mainstream authority.
So
And my supposition that
he
says
is
some,
the Egyptian mainstream.
yeah, my supposition that he says some crazy shit is he makes assertions that aren't based on the very things that he presents as facts. And going back to
Like
Joe
what?
Rogan, that the Great Pyramid is a tomb. There's no evidence that it's a tomb. The Valley of the Kings, there's lots and lots of evidence that the Valley of the Kings tombs are tombs. But the Great Pyramid doesn't look anything like any of the tombs in the Valley of the Kings. Like nothing. But he still asserts that the Great Pyramid and all of the pyramids are tombs.
Okay, but
His answer to the
didn't we
building of the
just
Great
discover?
Pyramids,
Didn't
it was the National Project.
didn't we just discover that there's a possible tomb structure underneath the pyramid?
Oh, he says that's all complete bullshit. because it can't. His guys didn't do it, and his guys say it's not possible.
Oh, I don't know.
Watch his interview on Joe Rogan. I think
I will.
it'll
I
clarify
need to
what
do
I'm
that.
saying.
That's good. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll hold off on that and do that.
Joe Rogan describes it as
He's
possibly
very
the worst interview he's ever done. It's bad.
really.
Yes, it's terrible.
That's funny.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. Watch that shit unfold. You'll be like, holy fuck. It's like watching a train wreck for 2 hours. It's incredible.
Wait. Okay. Maybe we're not talking about the same person. Who? Give me the name of the person you just said.
Zahi Hawass, Dr. Zahi Hawass. He is Egypt, and he'll tell you the same shit. Like, I am the law.
Yeah, that's the dude I was thinking of. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the Judge Dredd of Egyptologists.
Definitely. There's another dude that is also an Egyptian, but he's skinny and tall.
I think the one that talks about Kemet.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're
I think
talking
that's the
about.
guy.
That dude makes way more sense to me than Hawass does. So I just put the Zahi Hawass Joe Rogan interview. There was a documentary that I used to fall asleep to about the pyramids, and he was in it. Oh, I think I just
I
saw
got that
it.
Joe Rogan. That's it. Oh, it's only 2 hours. It had to have been a bad one.
It was bad.
After you get through all the scammers at the pyramids, he's the final boss.
Something like that.
That's funny. Oops, I didn't mean to pull that up. That's another thing too. We do have to get past the Egyptian government to do any serious excavating in
Anything.
to do any serious excavating in Egypt.
Yeah.
And but that's not likely to happen.
Well, they've got a lot of money.
Those
I
pe-
mean, history that they're worried about. You see, money, I mean, history is super important.
Yes, I was about to make a reference like that, but I didn't want to be too coy. They fuck. They definitely are persuaded by tourism, and the same is true with the Göbekli Tepe site.
Yeah.
The lure of tourism is strong.
Oh, let's see here.
But Turkey is even worse than Egypt as far as shit like that goes.
All
Turkey
of it.
doesn't give a fuck about ancient history.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because
As far as
Turkey's got quite a bit of it. The whole Fertile Crescent region has quite a bit of it.
yeah. What was the topic tonight supposed to be again?
I did Isaiah 6 and 8, and then talked about what was the other one? Stand by. Books. Book of the Brother. Growth mindset. Huh. Yeah, talking about a growth mindset and being open to new information. Weird.
Huh? It always works out like that, Kevin. It always works
Growth
out like that. That's
mindset
funny.
and lifelong learning. And here we are talking about Eric Weinstein and Zari Hawass, ancient Egypt, crazy shit. I'm trying to find this dude. I know exactly who you're talking about. He's also extremely
He's really cool.
interesting.
He grew up.
Yeah. Playing
grew up in the
underground in the
pyramids.
tunnels and all that stuff. Yeah, we're talking about the same dude.
Yeah, he knows well.
The Pyramid Code. There it is right there. The Pyramid Code. Unavailable. I know it's unavailable. So now I got something to go work on. The Pyramid Code. I've watched a bunch more stuff on this dude. And it's
He was on. The reason I know all these people is he was on the History Channel's Ancient Aliens.
oh, was he?
Yeah, all of them. Von Doniken, the whatever that dude is, the Hawass dude,
Zari Hawass.
the other dude we're talking about, and then the other dude with weird hair that married to the super hot chick.
I know you're talking about.
Uh,
Aliens.
yeah, aliens. He's the meme for aliens.
He is the meme.
They're all. History Channel did a really good, production wise, really good job to series, and I think that was early stages of disclosure, of course. But then again, I wear a
It
tinfoil
does
hat on
seem
a
that
regular.
way, doesn't it?
They had to do. They had
George
to prime.
A. Tsoukalos.
Yeah, that guy.
Tsoukalos.
That guy is so close.
Did
I don't know how
they
he
stack the
pulled
rocks,
whatever.
or
He
was it
must have.
aliens? Could it have possibly been?
He must have huge.
aliens?
He must have a huge plot of land
Yeah.
to pull that. Reminds me of Monty Python.
Yeah.
She's got
Huge,
huge
vast tracts of
tracts
land.
of land.
Yeah. That's in fact not it.
But I don't want to. I want to sing.
Yeah.
No. You're not singing. Message for you, sir.
That was my ringtone.
Here's one of my favorite life hack that's been a total game changer for me. Grammarly. It's not just a spelling or grammar checker.
one gets in until you leave, and then we leave. But no. Monty Python is probably top 2 movie ever.
There's actually the Pyramid Code is, if you can find it, Robert Schock. He's pretty great. I like his work. He's a geologist and does some really cool shit. There's another guy in there, Anthony something or other. He's also pretty good, not quite as good as Schock. Oh, there he is. This is the dude right here.
Did you find him?
I saw his face,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
just got to try and get a name. Sheboygan. There's his face.
Google will do that for you.
Adel Hakim Awan.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Got him.
Yes.
Archaeologist and
She being a little
Egyptian
out-
wisdom keeper. It's all in there, Aaron. It's like I tell people it's like the scene in fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark when they go into the warehouse. I don't know where any of it is, but it's all in there.
I feel the same way. I just don't have the energy lately to pull it back out.
But once I get into something, I have to.
That's him. Abdel Hakim Aywan. Avian. However you pronounce
Oh, Yan.
I like that guy.
Me too, actually.
Avian.
I went down the rabbit hole on him. Spent quite a bit. He does. There's essentially like what he's doing is like he goes to these places and then gives lectures. And I pray to God that someone has all this shit documented.
Yeah, he's getting old.
Yeah. But anyways, he goes to these places and gives lectures. And one of the places he goes, he's talking about. It's essentially a hospital. It's an ancient hospital. His supposition is it's an ancient hospital. And you stand on this platform, and when you stand on this platform, the doctors can go to these different chambers and listen to you. And by the sound of your resonance, they can tell what's wrong. Which blows
So
my
I
mind.
found this. Chematology.
Yeah. Actually, chematology.
Did you see that?
I just posted the link.
Okay.
Chematology.com. It shows this dude when he was a young man.
Yep.
Actually, it looks like
Yeah,
old country for or no country for old men guy.
yeah. He also looks like a friend of mine that I was in the Navy with named Skip. He used to play bass.
Oh yeah, he looks like a bass player.
Yeah. That guy was fun.
Much older now.
Recent post. There hasn't been any work done on this in 8 years.
Yeah.
That is sad.
It is sad.
You can tell by the way it looks. This is
Copyright
the most
2022.
recent.
So they've recopyrighted it 3 years ago.
They must have moved websites or something.
He's got a Facebook page.
I don't have Facebook anymore, bro.
I don't blame you.
I got
6
rid of
days.
Facebook. Shit is. Oh, he died in 2008?
No. Can't be.
What?
Here's his fucking email address, dude. At hotmail.com.
It says Bill Hakim Avian, 1926 to 2008.
That is fucking tragic.
Nah. I'm genuinely sad.
Well, All the more reason I hope that somebody, for God's sakes, please tell me someone documented that shit in his head.
Hakim was invited to be an ambassador of peace and lectured and shared his wisdom at many venues in many different countries all over the world before he passed from this life, or wested, as he would have said, in August of 2008.
There's a documentary on him in 2013, on 2022, and 2022. Maybe this is them like compiling,
Carrying on.
compiling what he left behind or what they can scrounge together of him. Yeah, he would have been a cool one to talk to.
That would have been a very cool one to talk to. 100%. I guess it makes sense because he was old when he did Ancient Aliens.
Travel can be a nightmare. Luckily,
I'm talking about old as Methuselah.
Damn, that's sad.
It is indeed. It is indeed. This video on YouTube is called The Last of the Great Wisdom Keepers. Hakim Al-Yan. You got anything good coming on this week?
No, just the trades. One of them recovered. I'll be selling probably on Monday. So, pulling out of the depths on them.
Pulling out of the depths.
I'm actually gonna make money. And then I got some stuff I got to do here in the house next week. I got the seal has stopped, has cracked the catch pan on my AC, and it's humid here in Arkansas. I don't know if you know that or not.
It
Newsflash,
is. It's really humid.
in Arkansas.
Arkansas is a swamp.
And our fucking floor, the underdecking is MDF, not OSB.
Well, that's exciting.
So now, in a period of about a week, it has swollen up and fell through because it's right there at a high traffic area.
Yeah.
And so there's like it's about the size of 6.5, 8 inches wide by 6.5, 8 inches.
Cool.
And there next to where the furnace is, high traffic area. I'm gonna have to pull the carpet back and
Put in some plywood.
cut it out.
Yep.
Fix the pan. Put some underdecking.
Fluoroprene
Fix the floor.
or silicone can help you with the pan. Fluoroprene's better. And you're doing the carpenter gig, so you know well aware of that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's a modest abode. So it's a modest abode, but it's our abode. And I got that coming up. And I don't know. Who knows what I got coming up? I'm still trying to worry about eating food stuff. Hell knows what I got going this week. How about you? What do you got going on?
So this new job, I've been given. There's only 2 in-house underground crews, and the one I've been given had a driller that was supposed to start. We went through. Went to orientation on the same day. Come to find out, he doesn't know how to drill, which is super weird, being that he's a driller.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Didn't know how to calibrate. Didn't know how to set up the locate head. Not a driller. So now I've got an underground crew that's not capable of drilling, but I've got to try and get productive, like right meow. So that'll be fun.
Oof, oof. That sounds like you're gonna be doing some crash courses. Do you know how to drill?
I do. It's been several years since I've sat on a drill, but I pushed out about 30 videos, 30, 35 videos on Friday to both underground crews, safety videos and how-to videos and all the different pieces and parts of things that are underground. They got one other crew, Crew 1, which is actually pretty damn functional. They need a second driller. They're
Okay.
actually like a crew and a half. They need another driller, and then one or two more hands to go with them. But they're pretty damn functional. They got 5 shots in on Friday, and they had a rainstorm in the middle of the day, so they're pretty damn functional crew. They're not hitting on all cylinders every day, but they're hitting on most of the cylinders most of the time. They're much better. They're getting ducked in the ground, fiber in the ground, handholds in the ground. The Crew 2, the one that I'm responsible for, can't even get ducked in the ground. So there's that. But and so it's going to be a pretty intense few weeks until I can get them stood up and squared away. And then there's a significant cultural problem. Apparently, my predecessor was a giant asshole that only did stick, and that was really all that he knew or understood was stick. Didn't understand any of the trade, just stick. So they all behaved
Okay.
as beat dogs. And with the beat dog thing, they're all super into biting, even each other and themselves, which is wild to watch, but it's actually more normal than one might think. But I've dealt with that before too, so we'll try and get them to stop biting themselves and each other, and then stop biting at me, and then stop biting in general. And I did learn something interesting about the progenitor of this company, the founder. He was independently wealthy. He was an oil guy near retirement. He decided that he was going to start this company for the purpose of providing connectivity and jobs to people in rural Texas. Not to make money, to provide people with jobs and connectivity so they could get jobs. Whole reason he started it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
super fucking cool. Unfortunately, he's passed and another guy's taken over, but he's sworn to carry on the mission and tradition. And he's significantly expanded the company. Also independently wealthy. Doesn't really need the money. But, yeah, it's one of the first times I've been involved with an organization. I've been like, yeah, that's a mission and purpose I can get behind. I don't mind making these people a lot of money. If you're going to use it to employ people, fuck yeah, let's do that. That makes sense. I can agree with that.
100%.
Yeah. Even if they're angry and retarded, let's give people jobs, help them have a better life.
I got something that I'll have to ask before I can send it, but I want to send it to you if you are willing to look at it. It is a bid proposal for construction costs, fiber conduit, and new construction suburbs. Yeah. How do I put this? He's not gonna care. So I have an individual in my circle of life that builds uh, lots, Roush Coleman,
Yeah.
to do the communities and suburbs, whatever. Or can't think of the word. You know what I mean?
Subdivisions?
Subdivision. That's the word I'm looking for. Came up with suburbs. And he's interested in, because they already put in water, sewer, electrical conduit, and all that bullshit.
That is
right?
tragic.
And when they build,
Had they done the
so
thinking when they were doing the electrical conduit, they could have done joint trench and saved most of the money.
Well, that's the thing. So he still has like 2 or 3 different upcoming subdivisions that he's building,
Yeah.
and he's interested in putting the fiber conduit in and leasing, doing 20-year leases to the fiber conduit to local carriers.
Oh.
And he got a bid put together for like what it would cost for this construction crew to come in and lay conduit, what it would cost him in labor and stuff to basically to lay conduit, and kind of she's trying to get an idea of what the return would be on it and so on and so forth. I don't so if you want to look at it, if you would mind looking at it, helping me look at it, help him get it.
Yeah. So if he's doing joint trench, his costs are going to be like $7 a foot. His lease is going to be like $1 a foot.
Per year or
Yeah.
total? Okay. So in a 20-year lease, he would get
In a 7-year
20
lease,
bucks
he
a foot.
breaks even. That's relatively,
Okay.
depending on his contract, all gravy after that.
What if he puts the fiber in himself?
Nobody's going to want to do that.
So
It's a liability. So when somebody else installs your fiber, you have no idea what the quality of the pathing of the fiber is. And you still have to go back and splice it, which is actually, so fiber in the ground, assuming that it's not in rock, is going to be like $17 a foot for the duct, and then another $18, $19 a foot fiber in the ground, and then you're like $20, $21 a foot spliced. If it's in rock, depending on the kind of rock, you're going to jump up to minimum 28 to maximum 150. Unless you're hard granite, then you're going to be like north of 300, 350. Make sense?
okay.
Foot.
Yeah.
And then so on an IRU, generally IRUs are based on the foot, and they're like change, which is irrevocable right of use of a fiber that's already in service. So that makes sense if you have like a 144 your Zayo and AT&T wants to ride across your shit, or T-Mobile wants to ride across your shit to hand service off to some tower. So you lease them that line for $3,000 a year, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a year, whatever the hell your agreement is, based on volume and distance
Okay.
and all that shit. So it costs you $300,000 to put that shit in, which when you have 144 fibers, it starts making a lot of sense, right? But when you only have one fiber, it doesn't make very much sense at all. So when you're doing fiber to the home, getting your cost down as much as possible is super important, because you're only charging like 20, 40, 60 bucks a month, 70 bucks a month a drop. And with the cost basis of $120,000 a mile underground, 50 bucks a month it takes a lot of those. Does all that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know you got a busy week coming up or whatever, but maybe in the evening or sometime this week, I'll talk to you. You saying that usually it's for something like that, it's depending on cost. Obviously, that's not great, but it's like a 7-year break even.
For the duct alone, yeah, depending on your agreement. Assuming you're joint trench.
Well, another individual that we both know was saying that it was like these carriers like to do a 10-year or 20-year lease, and then
Yes.
they pay the whole lease up.
Sometimes they'll pay the whole
So
lease up front. It depends on where they are in the cast position and if they want to take the write down or not.
Okay. Well, would they pay for a 20-year lease and then 5 years say we want to revoke the lease? You'd have to draw it up to
Sometimes.
where if they paid for it,
It's non-revocable, yeah.
it's theirs, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you really got to watch the terms of the
Um,
contracts. All of them, all the carriers are brutal when you get down to terms. And the same thing is going to be true of not just the wireless carriers, it's going to be true of the wireline carriers as well.
Go to bed.
I need to. I need to get up early. If you want to send it over,
Okay, brother.
I'll take a look at
Well,
it.
yeah, I'll send it over. I just want to make sure I have permission before I send it. That's all. So I'll
Yeah.
talk to him.
You can sanitize it if you want,
And then,
just do the numbers on a spreadsheet or whatever.
okay.
But fiber to the home is literally what I'm
But-
doing right now. And I'm actually,
That's what brought when you said all that.
yeah.
That's what brought my mind. Definitely get your opinion on that.
One of the neighborhoods I'm working in, I looked up on the hill, and this house is sitting up there on the top of the hill. The one I just put in the chat. Apparently, this house was in The Landman, which is some recent movie or something.
The Landman, yeah.
But it is a big.
I know what a
ass
landman
house.
is. Huge. The pool is right off the steps. Is that a golf green around the pool?
I don't know, man. I'm just like down the hill a half a mile. I can see it up there on the hill. That's all I know.
That is the definition of exuberance.
I think it's exorbitance. Exuberance is a
Of
different thing.
excess.
Exuberance, exorbitance,
Maybe.
whatever. I guess you actually have to be fairly exuberant to do some silly shit like that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, man, Dinga.
Growing luxurious.